Hello, hello. Hello, hello. I got a cat hair or something in my hair. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. I am really, really late tonight, guys. Sorry. Really late. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello, hello. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get comfortable here. Hello. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello? Hello, hello? Nobody wants to talk tonight? I'm late, so mention that. Hey, Julie, how are you? Sorry, I'm really late tonight. My daughter invited me over for supper, so, yeah, so I end up late. Sorry. Sorry, guys. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello? My grandson, if you can hear him. So if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Tonight we're going to talk about it's okay to be you. That's what my guide gave me this morning. Or was it this morning or yesterday? I'm trying to think. Is that bad when all my days run together? Did you have a good Sunday, Julie? If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello, hello. Thanks for the likes, guys. I don't know why they're so faint now. You can barely see them. If you're just hopping on, my name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Welcome, welcome. I am running so late tonight. Sorry, guys. Sundays are my only day off, and so, you're trying to, get everything in. And then my daughter invited me over for supper. Sorry. Scott, is it Scotty? Peace, Florida. Welcome. Glad to have you here. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello, hello. Thank you for the hearts. I don't know who's sending them. It's not telling me. I'm going to wait just a few minutes more and then I'm going to get started because I am so late. You? Okay, I figured it was you, Julie, but my notifications are horrible. Did you have a good Sunday? Thank you for those, Julie. I appreciate that. Looks like we just got a few on. I don't know who we're going to get now since I'm so freaking late tonight. Sorry. I didn't say the bad word. I gotta watch what I say. Okay, guys. Well, I'm just gonna get going here. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. I started my TikTok journey a year ago in March. The reason I started my journey is because on September 14th of 2023, for TikTok purposes, my husband unalived himself. And so that's when I discovered that I had these abilities to talk to my guides, and then they slowly breadcrumb me to my purpose, which is to be here with all of you lovely people, to talk to my guides, and then they slowly breadcrumb me to my purpose, which is to be here with all of you lovely people. I discovered my purpose in life is to help other people, to uplift others, and to help others through their loss and trauma. So that's why I'm here. Thank you for the badge. Is it Teresa? I appreciate that so much. Thank you for the likes, Julie. I appreciate that also. And so when I go live, usually my guides give me a topic. So tonight our topic is it's okay to be you. So that's what we're going to talk about. She's kind of been on that kick about being who you are lately. So if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Salvatore, is that your name? Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. And the likes. I appreciate that also so much. Okay, so I'm just going to get started. If you're never interrupting me, sorry, I can't talk today or ever. Thank you for the badge. Sorry, chat starts flying after a while. You're from California. MB, do you have a name? Is it Dr. Fine 27? Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. All the likes, guys, the badges. Appreciate that so much. Gosh, it just starts flying. Douglas from Dallas, Texas. Welcome. Is it Maribel? Did I say that right? Welcome. So I only have 2 rules here, guys, on my page. One is I just ask that you always be kind. Yes? Okay, good. I hate it when I slaughter people's name. So I just always ask that you be kind. And 2, we don't talk any politics here. That's just not what my page is about. It's not against one side or the other. It's just not at all what my page is about. And I always say I am on my journey where I am, and you are where you are on your journey. And so none of us are going to agree on everything. So we agree to disagree here. I'm going to catch up with the chat in a second. It's flying on me. And so anyway, so let's see. Let me catch up here. Cleveland, I assume, or Carroll, South Carolina. Welcome. Glad to have you here. See Trump. I'm just going to ask that you refrain from politics. That's just not at all what my page is about. I don't want to block you. I don't like to block anyone. That's just not who I am. So tonight we're going to talk about it's okay to be you. Who are you, right? And so that's kind of what our topic is going to be about tonight. I thank you for the badge. I appreciate that so very much. If you missed it, my name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. We are not shy here. My page depends, and I feel like I'm glitching a little bit. So if I am, I apologize. Pay $100 for internet and it sucks. So my page depends on you talking to me, and we kind of just go back and forth. I feel the conversation always goes where it's supposed to go. We do talk about loss here, so if you've also had a loss and you need to talk about that, you're welcome to chime in anytime. Let's see, and I know I've missed a whole bunch. Sorry about that. Thank you for that badge. And then let me go back real quick. Carol, thank you so much for the follow. Like I said, we're not going to talk politics here. That's your second warning. I only give 3 and then I block. So I don't want to block you. Please don't make me block you. It's Sunday. It's been a great day off. I don't want to block anyone. Okay, guys. So this is what my guide gave me. So do you love you? And these are kind of random. She was kind of giving me, and sometimes she gives me in an order. We didn't really get in an order tonight. So you're forgiven. Just don't do it again, please. And so, do you love you? What does that look like, right? Because in order to know that it's okay to be you, you have to love you, right? And so, what does it look like to love you, right? You promise? Okay. Pinky swear? Okay. So what does it look like to love you? Self-care, to prioritize, I cannot say that word, guys. Prioritize yourself, right? Which means sometimes learning to say no, which I know is difficult for a lot of people. It used to be difficult for me. Still can be at times also. Julie, thank you for the likes. I appreciate that so much. God, I just feel like is it glitching, Julie? It seems like it's glitching. I don't know. Anyway, so those are just some ways that you can, show yourself love. Like I said, these are kind of out of order. She kind of gave them to me out of order. Not bad. Okay. I just see like little glitches where the other night I could see it totally glitching. So just curious. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee and I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. Okay. So it's okay to be you. What does that look like? Anybody want to talk to me tonight? Oh, I'm 4 years and 3 months sober and learning to love myself again. Awesome. Did you have a name and where you're from also? See Stump for you know who you are. Congratulations. That's amazing. I'm Billy from North Korea. Okay. Hi, Billy. From Ohio. Okay. Did you have a name? So what does it look like? And that's so important. We talk about that all the time. And like I said, she's kind of been hammering this home with my videos and a lot of the lives about self-care and loving yourself and being who you truly are, right? So so the first thing she said is, what does it look like? Taking off the mask, right? And I know for years, I didn't know that I was until after my husband passed, but I was wearing a mask too. Like, I've always been a straightforward person and a straight shooter, you know, and but I wasn't always. I know now that I was a lot of the time, well, one, between being in survival mode and the other is that I was trying to be who everybody else wanted me to be, right? Who my kids needed and wanted me to be, who my husband needed and wanted me to be, right? Who my family needed and wanted me to be, right? And I was never really being true to who I was. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. I have to admit real quick, guys, so hopefully if I'm a little frazzled, I apologize. This morning was a rough day for me. I had several moments. If you're not familiar, so I took over my husband's Facebook page after he left. And so I get his memories every day, right? So a year ago today, we were in Iowa, in our camper, if you're not familiar, which we named Freedom because that was supposed to be our freedom, which I no longer have. And so we were at my mom's and we were having a bonfire a year ago today, and a picture of him and I came up. And so that started my day in a moment, right? And like I always say, you know, don't unpack and live there, but I did have several moments today. You know me, I'm extremely honest. I'm always going to be upfront with you guys. And so this morning was rough. I'm not going to lie. Standing up for yourself, being true to every part of who you are, being authentic. Exactly. So anyway, I just want to throw that out there because I'm just, I'm a little, I don't know what the word is. So if I get a little teary-eyed, just ignore me. I'm okay. I promise. Yes, I am. That's a whole nother thing. So anyway, okay, so yes, what Julie said. So if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are. Standing up for yourself, being true to every part of you. And see, that's the thing is, and sometimes we can be true to parts of us, but not true to our entire self, right? Does that make sense? Like, I was true to speaking my mind and being a straightforward person, which is who I really am or who I was, right? But then part of me would, like with my husband, I know at times I would censor myself because there was things that I wanted to talk about or dream about or places I wanted to go. And if it wasn't something that he wanted to do, then sometimes he would shut me down. So I just kind of learned to, in a way, I did censor myself, right? Because of him, right? Life is short. Yes, it is. And that's why I did believe in laying in this bed for a whole year, you know, mourning somebody. I mean, just because you move on with your life, I've said this a bunch, you know, just because you move on with your life doesn't mean you're not still grieving. Doesn't mean you never love that person. It just means that you're moving on with your life because life is short. Tomorrow is not promised. So, exactly. Okay, so Julie, you pretty much covered it, but I'm just going to go over what she said. So, and that's funny because this is what she said. Being true to you despite what others say and think, right? And like you said, being true to yourself. Yes, but it's hard to go on. Yes, sometimes it is, you know, there's moments like today, right? Like, you know, like I said, I had several moments this morning. You know, we talk about that a lot. It's okay to have a moment or several moments. It's okay to not always be okay. Just don't unpack and live there, right? My mom went to Italy without my dad last year. He never wants to travel. Both are retired. And that's hard. That's hard, right? Like, we agreed on a lot of things, but it's like, there were just little things, right? Where it was like, I just learned to just, you know, okay, well, I knew right away because we were together for 32 years. So I just knew he didn't want to go there. He didn't want to do that. And so I guess in a way I just pretended that I didn't either, right? Because I knew that it wasn't going to be part of the discussion. Does that make sense? So that's hard, because when you're with a life partner, you want to, I mean, most people want to do things with them, right? Yes. If you missed it, little over a year and a half ago, my husband unalived himself. I have to say it that way for TikTok purposes. Friend, where are you from, and do you have a name? And thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. Total sense, right? And so, that's sad though. You should be able to be exactly who you want to be, say what you want to say, and not feel like you have to censor yourself with your partner, right? And maybe your mom's okay with traveling alone, right? I personally, I want a partner that wants to do what I want to do, and I want to do what they want to do, right? So that's really hard. Fort Lauderdale, and it's Rawl. Did I say that right? Excuse me, guys. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. And all the likes, Julie. You're amazing. So like I said, these are kind of out of order. Okay, good. So you don't, and here's the big one for me, right? You don't have to fit in a box. Do y'all fit in a box? I've always said I'm the circle that don't fit in the square, right? And when I was younger, I thought I needed to, right? I thought I had to squeeze myself in that square, even though I knew I was the circle and I didn't fit, right? And I thought I was broken. And, it took me, until just before losing my husband, learning that I wasn't broken. And then after losing my husband, knowing that I wasn't broken, that I was never supposed to fit in that box or in that square, that I've always was meant to be the circle. And so I'm here to tell you, if you're the circle that don't fit in the square, it's okay. It really is okay. And you're not broken, right? We were all made to be exactly who you're meant to be, right? And so what does it look like to not live in the box, right? I always felt that there was certain members of my husband's family that, we did a lot of things in our camper the last 6 months of his life. We lived in our camper. One, because and those that don't know my story, my husband, there's a whole story to it, but because of work purposes, we had to live out of our camper for the time being. And we went to the coast for 2 months before that. We saved up every penny after my husband went back to work. We saved up every penny so we could go sit on the coast for 2 months, And so for me, not being in that box was not living in the same house for 30 years, right? You lost mine on your spouse, a wife, partner, what? Is that what you're trying to tell me on May 4th? I'm really sorry. You're perfectly imperfect. Exactly. Thank you for that, Julie. Yes. Well, I'm so sorry. You're in the right place. This is where we talk about those things. So, and like I said, we're not shy here, and you're never interrupting me. So if you need to talk about it, if you need help with it, I was with my husband for 32 years, and everybody kept telling me to just put one foot in front of the other. And I literally didn't know how to do that. We were together since I was 16 years old. And so for me, just breathing was hard, let alone knowing how to put one foot in front of the other. So I totally get it. And if you need anything, that's what my community is here. And that's what we're for and about. So like I was saying, 46 years. Oh my goodness. Bless you. I get that. If you need us, we're here. If you need to talk about it, if you need ways to deal with it, that's what we talk about here. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that so much. And so not fitting in the box, maybe not living in the same house for 30 years, maybe van life or RV life. Aw, thank you for the heart. Who sent me that? Edge and Essence. Did you have a name? Have you been here before? Did you have a name and where you're from? I appreciate that heart very much. And so, people think, I had a lot of family that thinks, that if you don't live in the same town and the same house your whole entire life, then, but that's what the world has told us, right? That we have to live in this box. And I just don't believe that. And so, I'm here to tell people you don't have to live in the box. You can live any way you want. If you want to be a full-time RVer, a full-time van life person, or you want to live in your camper or live out of your car. There's lots of people that are happily living out of their car by choice. You don't have to fit in that box just because the world tells you to. I am Mel and I'm from Colorado. What part of Colorado, Mel? I'm from South Dakota and I'm Renee. Nice to have you here. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. Sorry guys, it gets so warm in here and it was warm outside, so I didn't have my window open very far. Colorado Springs. Okay, I've been there a couple times. You're about, I want to say like 7 hours from me-ish, something like that. I love it down there. It's so beautiful. Thank you for the likes too. I appreciate that. And so, like I said, I'm here to tell you it's okay to not to live in the box. So not being who the world says that you need to be, right? It's very hard. I know it is. It's extremely hard. May 4th. So yeah, not even a month ago. Well, know that I'm here. And if, my best asset that I figured out when my husband passed was journaling. Just get a notebook, and if you can get outside into nature and get your feet in the grass, the dirt, sand, water, whatever, that's really helpful too. Just know that you have to feel those emotions. Like I tell everybody, like I was just talking about, it's okay to have a moment. It's okay to not always be okay. Oh wow, I did know that. Cool. Okay. So, it's important if you have those moments, don't unpack and live there, right? Just have a moment and know yourself. Like for me, I locked myself in my camper for 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks. Well, a good week for sure, off and on. And my mom was extremely worried about me, right? But I'm the type of person that, sometimes I just need my time, and I needed time to go inward and wrap my brain around what had happened. And so sometimes we need that, but we also need to know too when we're not okay and maybe we need to reach out for help. Okay, so just know that too. But like I said, it's okay to have a moment. It's okay to have 5 moments. It's okay to have 10 moments through the day. Just don't unpack and live there. Okay? And know that, like I said, me and my community are here, and if you need us, that's what we're here for. Okay, so let's see. So not living the traditional life, we talked about that a little bit, right? Living in the same house for 30 years. You're so very welcome. And if you stay, I'll just say it right now so that way you don't have to worry about it. But we're here Sunday through Wednesday between 7 and 8 o'clock Mountain Time. Usually I try to go closer to 7. Tonight it was about 7:45. I apologize, I'm extremely late. It's my only day off. My daughter invited me over for supper, so it made things go a little later. So thank you for the badge, Julie. I appreciate that and all the likes. So not living a traditional life. Live how you want to live, right? I always say, if you're not hurting yourself, you're not hurting anyone else. You do you, boo. That's my new philosophy, right? You do you, I'll do me. Everybody's happy, right? Some of us don't belong in the same place our whole life, right? Daryl and I love to explore new places and live in new places. I have moved we're not military, never been military, right? And we lived in 26 different places in 28 years, right? And so, and I know a lot of people looked down on us and thought, they're crazy. Oh, they're moving again, Who cares? Did I ask you to move me? No. Did I ask you for money to move me? No. Did I ask you to pay my bills? No, I didn't, right? So, who cares? And there again, they have every right to their opinion, but their opinion is none of my business. I don't care, right? And so when you come to that, it makes life so much easier. Let me tell you. Like I said, some people like to travel. Some people, it's okay to live your dreams. Maybe you wanted to live in a van and travel the world or travel the country. So do it. Life is short, people. Tomorrow is never promised. Live your dreams. Do what you want to do. Do it now, and don't live how the world tells you have to live, or your family, or anyone around you. You do you. Like I said, if it's not hurting you, you're not hurting anybody else. Do you, boo. Right? Amen. Exactly. Although I don't say amen anymore, but I'm sure I've already been on that tangent, Julie. Okay. So the last but not least, she says, so who are you? What do you want? How do you want to live? Who do you want to be? Right? Yeah, for a tangent again. Oh, okay. And it's funny because when she gave me this line, she gave me, what do you want? She told me to write you want in capital letters. You want. What do you want? How do you want to live? You'll have to fill me in. Okay. Well, basically, I've been down a bunch of rabbit holes. Most people know that. I've said that several times on my live. But one of the rabbit holes I went down is actually amen doesn't mean anything that what most people think, right? Amen was actually established by the god Amun-Ra. And that's why I don't use the term God. I say creator, the divine, or, you know, any of those kind of things. Because there were actually many gods, and Amun-Ra started the word Amen, because that, so every time you say Amen at the end of a sentence or a prayer or anything else, you are actually praising the god Amun-Ra. That's what that means. So anyway, just a quick tidbit for you there. Okay, so are you fulfilling your dreams is what my guide said. This is the last sentence she gave me. Are you fulfilling your dreams? And I know now that before my husband passed, I wasn't. I was living in survival mode, pretending to be somebody I wasn't, not loving myself, right? You know, and life is short. Do you really want to be there? Right? I always say, let it be done, or there's another one. I can't think of it at the moment, but at the end of something, usually I'll say, let it be done. Susan, thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. Where are you from? If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Okay, so are you fulfilling your dreams? That's what she said. Are you fulfilling your dreams? And now I am, right? I didn't even know what my dreams were because I didn't know who I was. I didn't love myself, you know, and now I've learned to love myself, and I'm figuring out who I am, and I'm learning what my dreams are and my goals now for those dreams. And I'm taking baby steps every day to get there. Are you? Right? Aw. Well, I have lots more where that came from. Lots more. I always say, I know it's not useless, but I always joke and tell everybody I have a head full of useless information. I just love to research things. And so when my husband and we lived 4.5 years on a mountain in Idaho, I basically went into hermit mode and went down every rabbit hole, you could think of. So I have lots of information like that. Anyway, so not useless is all. I know it's not. I just like to make fun of myself and say that. But yes, it's really not useless. I have a lot of good information, and it's crazy because I can't remember my name most days, and I can't remember what I ate yesterday, but I can remember all this stuff. So anyway, I guess it's just a matter of perspective and what what you like to remember, right? So anyway, so now I have to give my little shameless plugs here. If anybody has any questions, pipe in, or anything you need to talk about or say or vent or anything, pipe in. You're not interrupting me. Real quick while I'm waiting on that. If you're not familiar, I have a YouTube channel. It's under Scorpio Medium. If you're not familiar, I'm also a medium. And so if you are interested in channeling somebody from the other side of the veil, you can email me. You'll find my email in the bio here or my bio over at Scorpio Medium. And just email me to set that up. But like I said, if you're not a subscriber, I would love it if you went over there and subscribed. I am here Sunday through Wednesday between 7 and 8 o'clock Mountain Time. Like I said, usually I have a topic from my guide like we did tonight. Last week we just chatted. She didn't give me much of anything, and sometimes my day gets crazy. I try to be here 4 days a week. I was going to let you guys know before I forget. I will not be here Tuesday night. My friend and I are going to a movie. I don't do that very often. We're treating ourselves. So my friend's a veteran, so she can get us in cheap. So we're going to go to a movie on Tuesday night. So instead of being live on Tuesday night, I will be here on Thursday night. So I'll be here Monday, Wednesday, Thursday this week. And then I'm not sure if we're going out next week, so I might even hop on Friday or Saturday too. So Sunday through Wednesday, normally, not Tuesday this week, Thursday, between 7, 8 o'clock Mountain Time. Does anybody else have anything else to say or comments or anything? Hopefully your comments are coming through. They don't always put all the comments through. I have all my filters off. They like to filter my comments, so I apologize if I didn't get any. It looks like I'm pretty much losing everybody, so might be a short live tonight. Anybody, if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. I apologize. It's really, really warm in my room. It gets to be like 90, and I didn't want to run my air because I didn't know if you guys can hear me. So anybody else have anything else they need to add or talk about tonight? Any questions? Anybody? Going once? I'm going to make this a really short live tonight then, I guess, guys. Going twice? Okay. All right. Well then, thank you all for all the likes, the loves, the hearts, all of it. I love and appreciate you guys so, so very much. I appreciate you for hopping on and sharing your night with me. What made me study? Well, there's several things. There were some things that I kind of found out by accident, and then that kind of got me going down rabbit holes, I guess is what you could say. And I'm just a very curious person, right? And so like if somebody says, hey, have you ever, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll explore that, right? I became very open-minded and was like, okay, so maybe if this is a lie, what else is out there that's a lie, right? So that's my philosophy. So then I just start hopping down rabbit holes. Hey, Veronica, how are we doing on the, did you get your affirmations wrote out? You need to write them out so you can see them every day if you can. I know you have them on your phone, but that would be really helpful. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that too. So yeah, I'm just a very curious person. And when I learned that there was some things that we had been told our whole lives that was a lie, I'm like, okay, so what else are they lying about, right? And so then I just started going down rabbit holes. Okay, anything else? Anybody else? The affirmations. I was just going to say, if you can get them wrote out and like put up so you can see them every day. I know you have them on your phone. That would be so helpful for yourself. That's truth. Yeah. We have a lot of truth coming. It's coming. Sadly. We've been lied to about a lot of things, unfortunately. But okay, guys. Well, if nobody else has anything else they want to ask, talk about, vent about, like I said, going once. Yes, exactly, Julie. Exactly. Pretty much everything, actually. Pretty much everything we've ever been taught has been fabricated, sadly. That's going to be a sad realization for people. Right down to, people don't even realize, why do we call our what we write spelling? We're casting spells every time we write or talk, just little things like that. Yep, yeah, exactly. Me too. Yeah. That's why I say I have a relationship now, right? Because religion was basically, and like I said, we agree to disagree here, so you don't have to agree with me, and I'm never pushing my opinion on anybody else. But religion was created to control. It was a control mechanism, sadly. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna hop off here if nobody else. Yes. You can message me if you ever have any questions. I've got, like I said, lots of information in there. So, okay, guys. Well, I'm going to say I hope y'all have a great night. Remember to make tomorrow great. It's the beginning of a new week. So, it's a choice. Make it great. I hope y'all have a great start to your new week. Love to you too. I appreciate you so much, Julie. That's okay, Veronica. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can go over there. I've been trying to get it uploaded late at night. Sometimes because it takes it a while before it'll upload, but otherwise it'll be there by tomorrow morning and you can watch the live. I was late, so you didn't miss a whole lot. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. Okay, guys. Well, like I said, I hope you have a great day tomorrow. Remember to make it great. It is a choice. And I'm going to say until we meet again, don't forget, I'll be here tomorrow night, but not Tuesday. I'm going to switch Tuesday for Thursday. Until we meet again.